Hey Wolfpack, Mr. Marcola here on a beautiful day in May, and I'm so excited to bring to you the very first edition of The Howl, which is a segment of the morning announcements aimed to deliver to you the very best of what's going on around our community of Robert F. Hull. Let's get the show on the road. So what's the purpose of The Howl? Well, I'm standing here in front of my old elementary school in Toronto, Elmley Junior Public School. And back then, when I was a kid, if my parents wanted to find out about the great things taking place here, well, besides giving a direct phone call to the principal, you'd have to wait till an open house or parent-teacher interview night to find out. But with The Howl, we aim to bring that great news directly into your living rooms right now to you and your families, so everybody knows about the amazing things taking place. Amazing things like the extremely successful sock drive that took place this past Lent. Let's bring that to you now. Mr. Marcola here for The Howl, and I'm here at Robert F. Hull today, our beautiful school, to collect those incredible socks that we collected for the sock drive during our Lenten project. And we're about to bring those to downtown Toronto to the Good Shepherd in order to benefit the homeless. And what a beautiful thing this community did. So let's go into the chapel and check out that amazing collection of socks. All right, Mr. Marcola here for The Howl, and I'm here in our beautiful chapel. I haven't been here in so long because of this lockdown that's going on. So just saying good morning to Jesus over there in the tabernacle. Hey, Jesus. Good to see you, and all of Robert F. Hull misses you, Jesus, and we can't wait to get back in here and celebrate the Holy Mass together. But folks, let me turn your attention over here to this incredible collection of socks. Look at this. All these socks just waiting to clothe the feet of the homeless. And so I'm here today. I'm going to be loading up these socks in my car. And then I'm going to be bringing them down to the Good Shepherd. So I just want you to know, I want to thank you again for all your great works, folks. This is absolutely phenomenal, considering, we did a sock drive, and we weren't even here a lot of the year. And yet the goodness in the hearts of the Wolfpack community came out and created this wonderful collection of socks. Absolutely amazing. All right, I'm going to begin loading, and then once they're in the car, I'll show you just how many we have in the back of my vehicle. That's a lot of socks, folks. And just finished loading up the car, and I'll show you what the inside of the car looks like. But chapel's now empty, except for our Lord here. And again, just another opportunity to give thanks to God for the awesome goodness that's in this school and in your hearts. All right, let's continue. All right, so I'm here at my car, and I got a pretty big vehicle. This is a Suburban, so it's got a lot of space, folks. In fact, with the second row down, it's probably bigger than some Toronto condominiums. Anyways, look at all the socks that are stuffed in here. Absolutely amazing. They're even in the second row there. And they're going certainly to a good cause. All right, next stop, the Good Shepherd Refuge in downtown Toronto. Okay, I just got down here, Wolfpack. It's the following day from when I collected the socks, and this was the morning they were available for me to deliver the socks. And I'm here at, Good Shepherd is just up the road here, but I got all the socks behind me, and I'm going to look and see what our next move is in terms of where to drop them off, because we're in a pretty tight spot here down on Queen and Power Street. So let's see what comes next. Hi Wolfpack, Mr. Marcola here, and I'm here in the heart of where great things happen. We're here at Good Shepherd Ministries, and I know Robert F. Hull has had a tremendous history of bringing socks down for the Sock Tribe. It's a great annual event. And just letting you know that your socks during the Lenten drive made it down here, and I'm here today. And I'm here with some very special guests. So I'm gonna introduce them to you now. So with us is Brother David and Father Ed. And over here we have Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
And Cindy was kind enough to arrange our delivery here today for the socks. And I'll begin with Father Ed. Father Ed, can you tell us a little bit about what Good Shepherd Ministries does here in the downtown core?
It puts socks on feet and underwear on bottoms. That's the most important thing we do here at the moment, because this is what the people of the streets are needing. And John F. Hall, for all the years, through the years I've been here, they've been so kind, so generous, and so loving to each and every one of us, but particularly to the men and women and children of the streets that need what the John F. Hall family can be so generously contributing to us. And I thank each and every one of you. And I hope next year, school year, is a good year. God bless you all.
Fantastic. Thank you, Father. And Brother David, what is the importance of socks? Like, why socks for the community down here at Good Shepherd?
Well, first of all, if you have no home, you have no way of doing laundry. That's one of the main reasons. The other main reason is the homeless spend a lot of time walking. They can't afford public transit unless they dodge the fares, and sometimes that gets them into trouble. But they spend a lot of time on their feet with ill-fitting shoes. So clean socks is not only a life necessity, but it's a health necessity for somebody who's homeless. Foot care is a real problem for them. And when we do get them care for their feet, giving them a clean pair of socks not only contributes to their health, but to their dignity.
Mm-hmm. And Father, can we say that socks is one thing that you'll never run out of need of?
Never, never. We give away at least 100 pairs of socks a day here. And that's a lot. And then that's not counting the people who are staying overnight, need a change of clothing. Someone comes in homeless, they have to be, they need a clothing change from the skin out. As Father said, socks and underwear are vital. You can't give someone used socks or used underwear. You can give them a used shirt and a used pair of pants that have been laundered, but not underwear and socks. That's that's dehumanizing.
And how large is the community down here at Good Shepherd?
Well, we're feeding up to 650 people a day coming in. We accommodate 97 people overnight in our emergency accommodation, and then an additional 14 in our assisted living programs. So downtown homelessness is a major problem that has only been highlighted by the pandemic and exacerbated so many barriers has been put in the way of the homeless. So any kindness we can offer makes their day a little bit easier.
Wow, that's fantastic. So thank you. I'm going to sign off here. I'll switch the video around in a sec. But Brother David and Father Ed and Cindy, thank you very much for the continued opportunity you give to Robert F. Hall. It was a beautiful tradition that was started many, many years ago, and I feel so blessed to be a part of it this year. And please know that we'll continue this tradition in many years to come.
We look forward to your visits again. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you. Hey Wolfpack, Mr. Marcola here, now coming to you from behind the elementary school I attended as a kid. Now I'm here in the middle of the playground, a playground that should be filled with kids at recess time, running around, playing, laughing, climbing on the climbers over there. But it sits empty. In fact, the parking lot is empty as well. There's no teachers or students here. That's because, well, everyone's at home learning during this lockdown in the middle of this pandemic. And I reflect upon, well, how are kids coping during this unprecedented time where we have to learn through a computer screen as opposed to face-to-face in a classroom? I'm lucky enough to have an amazing chaplaincy team this year, a chaplaincy team filled with terrific kids. And two of those students have offered to share their reflection on what it's like to be at home during this historic year during this historic lockdown and pandemic. Let's hear from Christine and Josh now.
Hello, Robert F. Hall. I am Christine from the chaplaincy team. I'm here to talk to you about the struggles I've had with this current coronavirus pandemic. Well, to start, it has been really hard on me just not to see any of my friends, really. A lot of my closest friends live in other towns and some in different regions, and I haven't seen them in over a year with all the lockdowns. It makes me really sad, but at the same time, I'm really thankful to be able to talk to them online, because if not, I would be really lonely. To add on to, it can just be really frustrating being stuck at home and having to do everything online. And I really miss being able to see all my classmates and talk to them in person. And really just stuck at home with the same people all the time. I mean, I love my family, but sometimes we all need our space. Overall, there's just a lot of fear and sadness caused by this pandemic. I know we have to protect all the people who are vulnerable to the virus, but I guess for everyone, even those who have the virus, we all just feel really alone right now. But on the bright side, the finish line's almost there because we have a bunch of cures and vaccines now. It's only a matter of time until things can turn into some kind of new normal that isn't so bad as this. Well, just overall, even if everything kind of sucks right now, just remember that these bad times will definitely go away and there's more opportunities to do things you love. Also, you can spend more time with your family. So I encourage you to go out there and learn something new and do something you've never done before, or just take an opportunity just to relax. Because things are a lot less busy now. For me personally, I've had more time to do a lot of my hobbies, which are drawing. I learned how to cook a lot more. I've read a lot of books, and I got to spend lots of time outside, which makes me really happy. Anyways, I'll end off by saying you're not alone. And if you need help, please do talk to somebody. There's many people in the Robert F. Hall community you can talk to. And if not, talk to your family or your close friends. There will be an end soon. So, have a great day. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Joshua. Hope all of you are doing well during this tough time. I understand that this past year has been tough on everyone and has forced us to dig deep inside ourselves for inner strength. I have struggled at times like everyone else, but I've tried to hold on to my faith in God and love of my family in order to get through. Online learning has been a huge adjustment and missed the social aspects of in-person school. I try to stay in touch with family, friends, using online technology, knowing that this whole thing is temporary. I deal with the emotional stresses by exercising, playing sports, taking walks, puzzles, and listening to music. These things have helped me cope. I pray that we will all get back to normal soon. But I'm grateful for this time because it has taught me how important family, friends, and faith are to me. My faith in God has also inspired me to feel better about myself. COVID is affecting everyone in the world every day, but if we hope to God and have faith in Him, everything will be possible. God makes every single thing in the world doable to human beings in His own time, and I think that's true. God always has our backs, even during the hardest times. He can cheer you up if you are feeling down. There is nothing in this world that God cannot do, and that's why I put my faith in Him.
Hey Wolfpack, Mr. Marcola here again, and this time I'm standing behind a different school. Behind me is St. Stephen Catholic Elementary School, the first Catholic school I attended way back in grade 7. And you know, attending this school back in grade 7 marked a very important part of not only my educational journey, but my faith journey. Because for the first time, I realized what a treasure it was to learn about your faith life at the same time you're getting a quality education. And you know, at Robert F. Hall, we are so blessed and should never take for granted the gift of publicly funded Catholic education. And with that comes the guidance and presence of our pastor, Father Bob. And I went to Father Bob to ask him to comment about the current pandemic and the lockdown, what it means for staff and students, and most importantly, what it means for our faith journey as a whole. Let's hear from Father Bob now. So, Father, do you have any comments or thoughts on the year that was? Because we're including a number of messages from the community. We wanted to include your voice as our pastor. Do you have any thoughts on the year that was for the staff and students of Robert F. Hall, and any closing messages you want to give as we finish the school year?
Well, the only thing I would say is that I hear it from a lot of people, you know, why would God let this happen? Why would there be so much death? And in the grand scheme of things, it's really important to understand that our God is a God of life, not a God of death. God doesn't want this. God didn't bring this. This is brought by the world. And it's important for us to recognize that God doesn't want this to happen. And that's important. The other thing is, I want to thank the young people, especially, and I want to thank the older people for all of their efforts. Because to make a decision, an unselfish decision to wear a mask and to try to be protective of others, this is an incredible thing, that our community has come together to support one another. When I look into all of this and I see all this, I go, my God, it's incredible that we as a people have evolved to the point where we can care for one another. And in the community we live in, I mean, the numbers are low, but we're still caring for one another. And you know, it's such an important thing. You look to the world and all the struggles and all the stuff that's going on, and you kind of go, man, people are losing it everywhere. And for some reason, we seem to be keeping it together. And there's something about that that's kind of showing the presence of God in our midst, the presence of love and goodness. And I'm so grateful for that. But I'm thankful for the young people for all of what they do, because they are, of course, saving the rest of us. Because, you know, this idea of caring for one another, it's an incredible thing. You know, we say we are our brother and sister's keeper, and whatever we do impacts everyone else. And certainly the things we used to do, I used to high-five the kids all the time and snivelly kids, and I catch colds all the time. You know, I mean, a lot of that stuff is going to be gone. We may not get back to some of the stuff we did in the past, you know. I remember one politician when this first started. She was reading her speech and she was licking her finger and turning the page. You know, her finger turned the page. I'm going, oh my God, we can't do that anymore. So there's a lot of things in our lives that are going to change, and they're going to change because we care for one another and we want to look after one another. That's important, and I think that's important.
And finally, Father, do you have any advice for students and staff who want to nurture their prayer life in spite of not being able to gather for the celebration of the Mass? Do you have any advice for people who want to nurture their prayer life in the midst of a pandemic?
Well, if you have time, I could actually film a little meditation for you. It's a little meditation for the Holy Spirit. And it's a breathing exercise and a few different things that would be helpful. I don't know if you want to do it. If you do, then we can set up the camera and do it. But it's sometimes awkward praying by yourself. But you're not by yourself, because Jesus is always with you. So the question is, how do we bring the community into it? We can light a candle. We can have a cross on the table. We can do something that kind of connects us to the broader community when we pray. And know that we're all praying together. And that's kind of important, because sometimes you can kind of be praying and you kind of go, like me saying Mass by myself, it's really kind of odd. And when I say Mass with people, I'm enlivened. And the same thing happens when people come to church, they're enlivened by it. So although we're trying to do it through YouTube, it's kind of, you know, we do our best. But you know, I'm sure that the young people are really tired of watching Zoom, because all their classes are Zoom and everything else, and they're going to get tired of being behind that screen, which is going to be a blessing. Maybe they'll get outside and get some fresh air and do something good. But there's a kind of tiredness, if you want to call it that, and we're all there. We're all kind of struggling. You know, it's always hardest closest to the end. So as we get closer to the end, it gets harder and harder to kind of, you know, keep track of ourselves, if you want to call it that, because we know it's just coming. It's just almost there, and we're kind of holding on for that. So,
okay, thank you for those thoughts, Father. And now a special message from our parent community.
Hi, my name is Tina Hinsberger, and I'm the chair of your parent council. It's hard to believe that we're already at the end of the school year. It's been an interesting school year. Teachers and students have had to navigate online learning, but it's amazing how the school community has continued to stay connected with each other. Your student council has engaged you in spirit days and other activities through social media. And you have found ways as well of staying connected with your friends. How amazing it is that you can see your friends even if you're not in the same room. Technology is incredible that way. And the one thing that we have learned through the course of this year is how important it is to stay connected to family, to friends, to all of your loved ones. And this summer, while you're continuing to creatively find ways of staying connected with each other, whether it's virtually or whether you're able to do that in person, outdoors, continue that momentum, continue to put forth the energy to stay connected with each other. And in the fall, when we all gather together again, we look forward to seeing you, and we look forward to the positive energy that all of you are going to be bringing to our 2021-2022 school year. Have a great summer.
And our final message from this special first edition of the Howl comes from Esther Otieno, the Student Council President-elect for the 2021-2022 school year. Let's hear from Esther now.
Hey Wolfpack, I'm Esther and I'm excited to be a part of today's Howl video. I don't know if you've heard yet, but I've been afforded the great opportunity of serving as Student Council's next Prime Minister for the 2021 to 2022 school year. I'm so honored to work with all the staff and students, as well as with the amazing Student Council team to produce a great year. Next year, I hope to continue seeing that spirit and positivity that has been shown throughout this whole school year, despite it being a tough time. Personally, adjusting to online school has been hard after only being in the building for 1 full year. But one thing I know about Robert F. Hall is that we're a pack and we have found ways to reach out to one another, whether that's through online classes, club meetings, and even through our Instagram. With all that support, I've been able to see through this whole year, and I congratulate all the students who has been able to as well. We're almost at the finish line, and hopefully we'll be able to see each other next year. Finally, to all the incoming grade 9s, welcome and see you in the halls next year.
Hey Wolfpack, Mr. Marcola here for the final time, thanking you for joining me for the very first special edition of the Howl. Look for the Howl to return next year with more student-generated creativity and content. But until then, I wish you and your families a most blessed, happy, and joy-filled summer holiday. God bless you all.